Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pips and sips, welcome back to the Mac Life, the #1 channel here on YouTube. We're back for episode 153. Don't tell me the light's starting to do that thing the last light did. And if you're new to the channel, we got absolutely everything to do with growing your brand online, monetizing that brand, OnlyFans marketing for creators, and OnlyFans management. How to manage ladies' OnlyFans account and make serious amounts of money. Now, if this is the first video you've ever watched, okay, I do these in podcast style format. So essentially we have a topic, but I get into just the juice of day-to-day life. I'm here documenting my journey from where I am now all the way to $100 million. Me and you, we get a little bonding time, and then after that we get into the juice. And today is a really, really juicy video. It's why I quit OnlyFans. It's why I quit e-commerce and moved across to OnlyFans. Now you probably just noticed, like, you made a mistake, you didn't edit it out. Nope. These are real, organic, live off the top. That's the way people like them. You know, I've put out the stats now. Every single time, it's getting a 90 to 10 vote, like 90% to 10. People like them organic, unedited, the way they are, just like this. It feels real. It feels as it is. And so that's the way I'm just going to continue to put out these videos. You know, I won't change. I won't heavily edit them. And then in the future, if I do decide to drop heavy edited videos, they're just going to be different sorts of videos. But I'll keep the podcast like this because this is the way everyone likes it. And I don't want to take away from that experience. So, you know, the podcast has become more than myself now. Really, we're 153 podcasts in already, and the audience that's been built from this is massive. It's going to continue to expand across platforms as well. And so, you know, like I didn't realize more than just for business. Some people watch this just because they feel like we share a connection, and they've reached out to me and they've actually said, like, bro, listening to your podcast each day is what gives me joy. Like, I wait for the notification. You know, if I don't see your podcast each day, like, I'm terribly sad. I have a mundane life. I have all this shit going on. And so just be able to, like, it's more than me now. Just for me to be able to put that out each day, and even if it has nothing in relationship with business, like they do nothing, it doesn't enhance their business life in any way, but it makes their day that little bit better. I'll continue to put these out forever. So don't worry, the potty ain't going anywhere, okay? There may be days where we've been sluggish or whatever, but the potty will be there. It will continue to come out. So, you know, there's a lot of things that tie in with that today. And the first one that I want to tie in, or the first point that I want to get into is, you know, there's a lot of pretenders in this game. Now that OnlyFans are starting to become the newest thing, look at all these people that are OnlyFans experts. Check the dockets, check the receipts. My videos date back 2 years, e-commerce and OnlyFans, that's it. And if you watch where I transitioned from e-commerce to OnlyFans, the reason I was able to find rapid success is because I had already accumulated those skills over 5-6 years in e-commerce, and then I applied them to OnlyFans, which made me wildly successful. You know, I took the principles of pricing. I looked at, I don't want to get too much into it because that's what we're going to be talking about today at the end of the video, and there's a lot. But, you know, I took all the metrics that were hard inside of e-commerce and realized, why would I be in a swimming race when I could be in a speedboat, which is OnlyFans, and then apply like some extra juice, add some Yamahas on the back and just fucking hum my way there. So, like I said, you can check the receipts. That's the best bit with YouTube. Look back, see when I was talking about OnlyFans almost a year ago of these podcasts, and you've got people that are coming on now that are OnlyFans experts that have done nothing in the game. Nothing. And see, you know, it doesn't actually bother me because a lot of people get bothered when new people join their industry, but two things happen. If that person is genuinely good, great, you can learn from them, which 99% of the time they aren't. People jump in on a new trend and they flake out. Second is you don't have to worry about those competitors if you're legit, because the point is when new people enter the space, very quickly others will find out if what they're talking about is valuable or not, because if it's not, and they're not real in the game, and they haven't done real shit in the game, it will very quickly prove itself. You can't fake credibility. So that is what it is. Okay, let's get into it. You know, I wanted to tie this in with other one. Yeah, so today, like I said, you know, I won't skip the podcast, but some days they may come out a little bit later. Today we're still on point, but I slept in today. I don't know why. I have a bit of a story. So I went to bed maybe 12 last night, around the time I normally go to sleep. I went to bed about 12. Woke up at like maybe 8 or whatever and instantly fell back asleep, like just straight back asleep. I normally get up at like 7 or something like that. 7 hours sleep's enough for me. Then when I woke up, it was like 10. And when I woke up, I had like a flashback. The weirdest thing is like I haven't worked like 9 to 5 job in, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, whatever it's been. And I woke up and I was like, oh fuck, I'm going to be in trouble. Fuck, where's my fucking phone? Fuck, what am I rostered on? And then I was like, wait a minute, cunt. You're the big soup. You work for yourself. And in that moment, like, I took what used to be obviously so stressful, because it still has translated over into this years later. That's how stressful that pattern was. It's translated years later to the point where I can wake up and I'm like, oh, but then I was like, you've fucking done it. So today was actually a big milestone, more than money, because of the fact that I was like, I woke up and I've removed something that was so awful from my life. And to me, like, that is what I already see as a portion of success. Being able to wake up whenever I want, not have to ring anyone, tell them, explain why I'm late, explain why I fucking accidentally slept in, and then have to worry about being in trouble, and then people being like, motherfucker, I'm a human, I can sleep as much as I fucking want now, and I've built myself to that level. But the reason I think that was so deeply rooted as well is I used to work these night shift jobs. They were fucking killer. So at Luna Park, I used to go in, right, and I used to set up scaffolding, which is the worst job. Like, at night, imagine, right, it's late at night, completely dead empty. And if you don't know where Luna Park is, it's pretty much right under the Sydney Harbour Bridge. So you'd be in there at night, all concrete flooring, and you're setting up like auditoriums where people sit. So you have to, like, they have to be set up and pulled down. So they're set up and then everyone's there that day and then they're pulled down. So you have to set up all the actual scaffolding, like all the metal pipe works and shit that goes up, chain everything, make sure everything's good. And like, it is actually like a bit of a risk to it. Like, some boys have fallen through, like, you'll start putting down the fucking carpet tiles and shit before some things are secure, and people will stand on them and fucking go down, break ankles, break wrists and shit, falling off the top. But the worst thing, like, it was night shift and it's just constantly hearing metal ding, hitting cement being pulled down or set up. And like, the worst thing, right, it's a carnival. Like, Luna Park is like a big fucking carny place. So my shift would start at 10 at night and it would change. But it would start at 10 at night and I would be there, right? You have to be there a little bit before. I had to come all the way in Sydney. I would go in there. I would start setting up the fucking work, right? And then you work through 12-hour shift till 10 in the morning. And at like 9 or whatever it is, the theme park would open back up. So you've been awake all night, like 11 hours, setting up tearing. And then you just hear fucking carny people and kids running in and you're just fucked. And then I had to walk up the hill, right? I didn't drive while I was in Sydney, because it would cost way too much money for what I was making. So I had to walk up this massive hill to Milson's Point, catch the train to Central, so a train station, wait, and sometimes there wouldn't be a train for like half an hour to an hour, out to Burwood, because most of them would skip Burwood and go straight to Strathfield. Catch a train for another, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes or whatever the fuck it took to get to Burwood. Get off there, walk to Five Dock, which is where I live, like right down fucking ages away. Like, if you're walking from Burwood, it's probably like another 30 or 40 minute walk. And I'd walk all the way down just to get home to sleep. And so, you know, you'd get home, it might be nearly 1 o'clock, right? And then I would sleep, 7, 8 hours or whatever, and it would be like 8 or 9 again. And then I'm meant to be at work for the 10 o'clock shift. So I'm like, oh, fuck. And then you'd eat your food and then you're like, fuck me, I've got to work like straight away. So then you're up and then you're fucking back. And they weren't actually meant to do that. Like, you're meant to have bigger gaps in between, but they got away with it. And, you'd have like 1 hour at home and then I'd be back and then off to work. And you would do that like sometimes 4 or 5 days a week. And you just fucking rinsed your whole, like, I remember my whole life was just like that. But I always knew, like, in my head, I was like, I'm going to fucking, because I'd had good money from the call center before. And I was like, this is not the way. And so, like, I was listening to affirmations and I was like, I'm going to sort this out, get something else going. And the reason I was doing it was I was telling myself, because I was at uni, I was like, it's just till I finish uni. It's just till I finish uni. But then you start questioning your beliefs. Like, a lot of people have this. Oh, they delay. And university is a great delay fucking fish machine. It is. That's why I'm so heavy in alternative education. I've only been out of work 5 or 6 years, but think of my entire time at schooling. I learnt basically nothing. If you don't know what I was like as a kid, I was poor. Okay, I was small and weak. I couldn't fight. I couldn't, like, I was a lot smaller than everyone. I still had lots of friends and I was quite popular, but like, I was definitely not intelligent. You know, I got asked if I needed private tutoring and then asked like to leave the school at St. Pat's, like because of the fact that I failed every single class. Like, not C's, I got D's and F's in everything. And then I had to go in and, you know, speak with fucking people. What are you doing? What's going wrong? You know, you're fucking so distracted. How can you be that dumb? Basically like that. And my entire, I don't know where the fuck I was going with this story, but like this entire thing was like, I started off there and went all the way to that point, and then within 5 or 6 years of alternative education, I went from failing everything to absolutely excelling in everything. Like, I've learnt multiple languages. Like, I speak different languages to a good level. I speak Thai all right now. Like, from traveling to Thailand, I speak some decent Thai. Like, I'm pretty, I can understand and speak fluently. I would say fluently. I wouldn't say how you define fluently, because you can always progress. But я говорю свободно по-русски. Like, I can speak freely in Russian and understand correctly. And I speak a bit of Spanish. I've read over 700 books on marketing. I've built businesses to 7 figures, and then multiple clients' businesses to 7 figures. And this was all in the space of that small window of time. And even some of that was still at university, crammed in till just recently in the last few years, still doing uni work on top. So this is why I'm so big on, I hate when people talk shit about like the online education industry courses, because you really can accelerate everything 10x from a fucking course that would take you 5 or 6 years at uni. And I don't know how I got into this fucking story, where we started, but hopefully you've, I don't know. Hopefully you've enjoyed. I guess it loops all the way back to waking up and feeling like, today I felt very successful waking up and being like, you know what? I remember those days, those struggles. And having those struggles were great. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I would hate to be born the way I was now with this much money. You know, everything would be absolutely boring. And sure, I still don't have fuck you money, so I'd still work towards that. But to have all this and have missed out on that experience, you know, it makes you very, very grateful. So, what else? We've got... I'm trying to think what topic to tie this into correctly. Like, I've written down something here that makes little sense. Training. I was like, training video. All I wrote down in my note is training videos are going wild. And I was like, what's training videos? So if you've been watching the YouTube videos that I've been putting out recently, I've been doing some business success style training videos where essentially I have a Google Docs sheet and I go through. Those ones have been getting mass amounts of hype. And I think it's just because of the value that's inside of them. They're like business training and they're straight to the point. They're not like the podcasts like this where it's a little bit sporadic and we just talk about everything. They're very just straight to the point, business principles. So if that's the sort of video you like, make sure you hit subscribe, because you'll see those videos when they come out and they are fucking popping. Like, those are getting some mad feedback. The YouTube is compounding to grow. Like I told you, we're at like whatever it was in revenue, 600 to 620 or something. Check this morning, we're at like 650. Soon it will be 700. Remember before, when I first got monetized, it was moving by like $10 increase a month. Now, in the space of days, it's going up by $20, $30, $40. So that, and it doesn't sound like much because it's still not much money, but I know within a year's time, it'll be at the point where it's making like 10K a month, and then 10K will become 12 or 14 the next month, and 14 will become 18, 18 will become 20. And it's really because of the style of the way that I've done these videos is every new person who comes on board has so much content they can absorb and watch, so many other podcasts. I have stacked volume times time, and you cannot cheat that process. You can come on board and you can have a viral video and you might make $15,000, $16,000 from that video, but you may get lucky that one off and then you struggle and then it's months of planning, then you might get another one. My plan is just mass takeover time, you know, volume times time. And so any new subscriber who comes onto my channel, we got 400 plus something videos now, and they're like 30, 40 minutes in length. You can't beat that. The compounding effect, it's finally caught up to the point where it's starting to push, and it's like Jeff Bezos' flywheel. It will just continue to compound. So if you don't have a YouTube channel yet, you need a fucking YouTube channel. As well as that ties in, you know, we're about to hit 5K on YouTube, which is like an awesome little milestone, I guess. My main milestone that I'm working towards next will be the 10K, but 5K will be good, and then 10K we'll get 50, we'll get 100, and we'll just continue to mop up. So I think a cool way to think of it, right, before we get into the OnlyFans stuff, because we're already up to the OnlyFans stuff, is 10 years from now, you're going to be 10 years older regardless. If you're 25 now and you're thinking, yeah, but, YouTube, I want to give it a go, but fuck, it's going to take a while to build an audience. And you might be thinking that for a year, 2 years, and then you do something else, and you're like, fuck, he's still doing YouTube. I might give it a go now. You're maybe it's been 6 years when you get started, right? Then you've only had 4 years of growth. I've had another 10. And the thing is, 10 years from now, if you're 25, say, you're going to be 35 years old regardless of if you started today or not. If you started today, you start in 3 years, you start in 5 years, you start in 7, you start in 9, you get to 35 and you're like, fuck, I still haven't started, I should start, okay? You're still going to be 35 regardless. People say, yeah, but I'm already 50. I get this a lot from older people. Yeah, but I'm already 50, 10 years of YouTube videos. I'm like, what's your other plan? In 10 years from now, you're going to be 60 regardless. And I feel this is the best opportunity vehicle that you have available in today's world. Build an audience with YouTube, provide a shit ton of value, and then you can monetize. And more importantly, they will find, your audience will tell you what they want. They will find a way for you to monetize. If you do beauty reaction videos and you watch beauty shit all day, your audience will be like, why don't you promote this skincare product? Why don't you do this? They will come up with something for you if you can't find a way to monetize. But 10 years from now, you're going to be 10 years older anyway, if you make that 10 years. So why wouldn't you just get into it? Why wouldn't you just start? Trust in the Mac. Okay, last topic, and then we're getting into the OnlyFans content, because today's OnlyFans content's pretty full on. So there's this massive no fap culture at the moment, the no jerk off culture, and here is my issue with it. So if you're like, oh my god, but that's me, I'm in that fucking no fap because I harness all the extra energy, da 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 da. Here's my problem with it. It's not the actual methodology. Some people say there's scientific benefits. You look at the science, there's not really that much evidence to support what people say, but people say they feel better, right? It's a natural thing. And, I believe definitely in the power of the mind as well. The placebo effect is very, very real as well. And the nocebo effect is just as real. So my problem with this no fap, no jerk off industry is people use this key word, extra energy for productivity. Okay, this is my problem, right? People say, I get all this extra productivity from it. I get all this extra this. I get all this extra that. To make that claim, let's define the word productivity. Productivity simply means that you're getting more volume, and Alex Hormozi said this perfectly. All productivity is an optimization tool to allow you to produce more volume on a specific task or dedicate more time to a specific task. People wake up and they need their morning routines and this and that and then a coffee and then this, and they say, yeah, it's so that I can be productive, so that they can be optimized for an hour. But if you had just got started and just put in 3 to 4 hours, that would have produced a better result because you've put in more volume. Productivity is only real if you get a more effective outcome, or you've put in more time and that ends up with a more effective outcome. Either way, the whole productivity hack that people confuse is that they can put in less time and get the same outcome or a better outcome by optimizing other things. But it's simply not the case 99% of the time. And my main problem with these dudes, this no fap culture fucking thing that's going on, is not only do they say, well, I'm getting all this extra time, this energy, this, that, they are so cult followed on it that they will follow every single video about the science and sit there arguing in the comments, wasting time that they're meant to be productive to talk about how much more productive they're being. That's not productivity. People lie to themselves about what productivity really is. And I just find it hilarious. I think my mate was a good example. So I have a mate, right? And he started this no fat journey thing, absolute no anything, right? Just harness extra energy. I'm going to be more productive. I'm going to get more time to focus on this, more time to focus on that. And then 90% of his day was distracted, sitting on Tinder and messaging girls and trying to get hookups. And half of them were fucking not decent looking girls either, because he's so fucking horny that he's just sitting there swiping. I'm like, bro, isn't this thing meant to give you more energy and more productivity? And now you're distracted from the task that you're trying to be productive in. Doesn't it make less sense? So I don't know. I obviously don't have the answers. I'm a fucking, I am a genie, but I'm the ecom, the Onlyfans genie. I'm the Onlyfans genie of this game. So I'm not going to give you fucking fapping advice on this channel, but like I said, if you're going to use the term productivity, I recommend that you refine that to what is productive for you. What is the actual outcome that you're trying to achieve? Because the more of that outcome you can get in the less time, okay, that would equal productivity. I want you to define it. Now, that being said, today we're going to get straight into the why I quit e-commerce to start OnlyFans. And if you look back to when I started these videos, I'm still in the e-com game, and I consider the OnlyFans game to be e-commerce. And the crazy thing is, right, if you don't know how I made all my money, I'll give you a very, very quick recap. When I lost my job at Masters, I also worked at a hardware store. I was in the timber section. I was a big woodsmith. Once I lost my job there, I had to move back in with my mum, and I was in this tiny, fucking minuscule little bedroom. Basically no money to my name, nothing. I was a casual because I got higher pay, so I didn't get a payout or anything like that. And I was very, very poor, and I was like, fuck it, I need to become smart. I Googled, how do I become rich? And they were like, well, most rich people meditate, read books, do all this. So I was like, fuck it, if that's what they do, I'll just do that. I was smart enough in my very mentally capped mind to know that if someone else does something and I copy that, I can achieve that said result. And I don't know where I picked that up from, but as Mozart says, great artists don't copy, they steal. So essentially, like, just replicate what that person does. And so I started reading books and and I read as many books as possible and built my businesses. And I had a lot of failed businesses and acquired money doing different little work, cash jobs and whatnot in the meantime. And then I come across Facebook Marketplace, and I put up products on Facebook Marketplace and started selling through there. And I was the first person ever to drop ship through Facebook Marketplace that I know of. I didn't find any other videos on the time at YouTube about it. The shipping option didn't exist in the US. It wasn't a thing. And I built all my system. This is the difference between people that say they're e-commerce experts and sell these courses and shit. Like, I know a lot of people, they say, oh yeah, we did 6 figures and then I showed people how to do it. And they made like $150 profit, or they lost money. They just ran the store to get the sales. Let me make this clear. I made hundreds of thousands of dollars profit online with Facebook Marketplace and the ecom store before I ever started fucking selling courses and shit. And it's because people were asking me. I was putting it on Snapchat, putting this up, putting that, and people were like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? How do you do that? And I was explaining to people, and they're like, bro, you should teach that shit. And then I was like, you know what? I probably should be teaching that shit. It's extra cash. That's all I was thinking. So that's how I got into it. And then, me and Adam, we scaled shit up, and we had the pet bed store, and we did all this shit. Anyway, what I learned through e-commerce was so many lessons that, like, and I'm going to explain all these in a second, but I learned so many lessons that when I transitioned to the OnlyFans industry, I was able to instantly, like, see results that I have never seen before. And when I talk about it, like, it's like the cheat code for e-commerce. It's like doing e-commerce, but you're cheating on every single part. And I'm going to explain that now. And I really want you to listen today, because if you think there's a better industry to succeed in than the OnlyFans game, and you're thinking, and you come on board for a month, and then maybe you've joined the hive, and then you quit, or maybe you're now going to focus on NFTs or crypto or something, I don't see you succeeding. You're already in a speedboat in a swimming race. And if you can't get that speedboat to perform for you in a swimming race, you're just not, go work a job. Honestly, you're going to have a more fulfilled life working a job and working your way up a corporate ladder and get to, $300,000 or $400,000. You can still make $300,000 or $400,000 a year, or become a salesperson for someone else. You're not built to have your own company if you can't succeed in this. And that may sound harsh, but I know even the people who have come on board and they're already making money in the OnlyFans game, a lot of yous won't be in this 10 years from now. A lot of yous won't be in this 5-10 years from now. You wouldn't have progressed. Where me, the only reason I've transitioned from e-commerce to here is because I understand the wild difference in the opportunity vehicle. And I can't see myself leaving this industry for anything else that would come along, because I may, but I can't see anything that would be more lucrative or a higher opportunity vehicle to invest time into. I feel in the future, it will be the exact same industry, but the media will be consumed differently. It won't be on OnlyFans. It'll be like some virtual pussy in the metaverse, and you can, VR headset chat while you jerk your dick off with some weird fucking device. I don't know, but That's what it will progress to, but it's pretty much the same thing. And so whilst I'm researching and looking into all that stuff and different future things, I've realized how easy it is to succeed in this industry. And if you can't succeed here as a creator or a manager, you're not really going to succeed anywhere else. And if you're not in it because of moral reasons, morality, that's 100% different. But this is the easiest industry in the world to succeed in. And I want to explain why now. And I want to explain the people that have come on board why not having the challenges in the past almost puts you at a disadvantage, because you think all businesses are this easy. I've seen people come in, make some money with OnlyFans, then get bored, fizzle out, try other shit, and then be like, fuck, I should have stuck with it. And it's like, yeah, you don't realize how easy this opportunity is. So let me explain to you, okay? The number one thing is product. The hardest thing in the world to develop is a good product, okay? In fact, nearly all good products aren't completely new ideas. They're just enhanced version on other products. Now, the reason a product is so hard is you have to factor in the cost of goods. You have to factor in the monopoly players that can also purchase and saturate the market. You have to find that there's already a demand for that product, but at the same time, there's not 100 suppliers. It has to be unique enough to get a wow factor. It has to fit in with your budget for marketing, for everything else to come across. And it has to be able to be sold quadratically over time, because as a business scales, it becomes more expensive to acquire new customers. That's just a fact of life. And so the product is so infinitely hard to get right. And that's why I discovered Facebook Marketplace, and I come across it and I thought, not only am I making sales from Facebook Marketplace, but more importantly, it's a way for me to quantify and test that the market actually likes these products that are unseen before I ever spend $1 on ads and run ads. Now, the reason you're so lucky inside of OnlyFans is the fact that you have the easiest product in the world to sell. It's sex, it's titties, it's something that everyone wants. And number two is, it's a product that can never saturate. The reason why, and if you disagree, okay, you will say, yeah, but other girls can sell their da-da-da. But look how many billions of hours of porn are out there, and yet there's still billions of dollars being made in OnlyFans. Why? Because you don't understand a value ladder, and that's something else completely different. But you have yourself. It's a product that never saturates. And you can make, you get to control the whole supply and demand curve simply by the pricing that you place on it. And no one can take that product from you. It's you. And you can infinitely create new versions of that product by just taking pictures or videos or whatever you want. And your market cap size is the entire fucking population of men, besides some men who may be gay, but then you've got some women who are lesbians that will pay to see you naked too. So you pretty much have like 70%, I'm just roughballing it, but you know, we're pretty much 50-50 equal for men and women, a little bit more for women. But you have 70% of the world you could market to, and new people being born every second. I know I'm not saying market to fucking babies, but obviously as people become, 18, 20, whatever their legal age is, okay? This is not legal advice. Whatever their legal age is, then you can pitch them your fucking body, even if it's 100 years old. Now, the thing is, the product has taken care of itself. It's the easiest thing in the world to market. And like I said, this isn't a morality discussion. We're not here to say, yeah, but selling yourself. This is simply saying, compared to identifying a product, okay, in a physical product that you have to sell, you have the easiest thing in the world to sell, and you control the supply and demand curve. That's number one. That's just number one. Number two, you control all the rights to this product in terms of access, speed of use, manufacturing, competitors. Competitors can't just take your product. You're protected by your own copyright infringement laws, okay? They can't just take and resell your content. They cannot use that and resell that, okay? Or you could sue them if you want, but basically they can't take your product. Whereas, if I was to, I've had successful ecom products, for example, like these sneakers, the Ozlux sneakers, and I was smashing them on TikTok. I used influencer marketing. I sent them out to all these TikTokers, school lunch tray, and all these dudes with millions of followers, and was getting flooded with orders. But then the supplier, okay, started also selling them to other people. And unless you can get an agreement, which you have to turn over a large volume to do that, they can just say, no, we're working with this person now, or raise the prices on you, or we don't sell to you anymore. So you control the whole chain. You control the manufacturing side as well. You don't just control the selling side of the product and the pricing. You control the entire manufacturing scene. You are the factory as well. Now, on top of that, your cost of goods is nothing. And if you're saying, yeah, well, I need a phone to take pictures, and shut the fuck up. You know, if you're trying to find any excuse to fucking complain on here and say, yeah, but it cost me my time, shut the fuck up. But I hope 99% of the people on here, you know, aren't that sort of person anyway. I'm sure by now, with 153 podcasts, I would have weeded out the majority of the victims. But that being said, I like to throw it in there sometimes because I might catch a few of you. I might catch a few of you laggers in there, and I want to fucking rip that mindset apart. Now, you control the product, you control the manufacturing house, you control the cost of goods is nothing, okay? Now, next thing, it's infinitely scalable. Like I said, your market size is infinitely scalable, and if your product saturates, which it can't, you can just create new content. This is wildly insane. Now, here's the next thing. Because you control a unique product with a wow factor, with infinite scalability, you control the manufacturing, okay? You get to control the pricing. And pricing I'm going to go over last because it's the most in-depth thing that I want to explain to you because it's the most beneficial of the lot. But why else did I leave the ecom game and come across to Onlyfans? Okay. I want to give you... I'm trying to put them in the right order because there's so many fucking good things. The cost of goods, okay? The cost of goods doesn't change with inflation. You don't have to factor in the cost of goods and marketing spend and this and that to become profitable. And on top of that, when I talk about marketing, you can market the product for free using free methods and still make 6 figures a year straight away. Like that, you're just cheating. You're cheating in the game. If I had this 6 years ago and I knew what I knew now, you know, but like I said, the thing is, most of you that didn't succeed in other industries won't understand why it's so easy to succeed in this game and why I'm sticking with it, why I'm not going anywhere in this industry. The next thing, okay, is value. You can deliver the most value in this industry because value in this industry is so super easy. Say, for example, I have a luxury fashion store like I did before, streetwear fashion. It's very hard for me to picture a customer avatar because I have men and women. I have different styles that people like, different comforts, different materials. Some people like oversized things, some people like this. So it's very hard for me to deliver value because I can't pigeonhole my customer avatar. But for you, it's very simple. All people that come across only want one of two things, and usually it's both. Number one thing that they're looking for more than anything is a connection. They want to connect with someone, which is very easy to break that down, okay? Psychologically, you should read a few different books that will give you some reasons on it's not some reasons, some actual things that people are searching for and how to make them feel good. So it's very easy to deliver value, and it costs nothing other than your time or a system you put in place to deliver that value. You know, you can go above and beyond to deliver value, above and beyond, and you can provide the most value because you're genuinely providing the most value. Like think, if someone buys a shirt, what's the deep cause they're buying a shirt? Most of the time, they're not buying it to keep fucking warm unless it's like survival gear or hunting gear with a purpose, right? They're buying it because they want to fit in somewhere or be in a crowd or look stylish, so it comes from very, very deep things, and you're only surface level touching that value. With OnlyFans, you're getting to people's deep root values pretty much straight away. Dudes will say, well, you know, my fucking partner fucking cheated on me and I'm extremely lonely now and, you know, I got 2 kids and this. You can genuinely help those people and be like, look, well, even though I know this is transactional and you know it's transactional, you're giving me money, you know, I really feel for you. And on top of that, you know, I'm going to fucking make sure you have a good time for the next 15 minutes. And you know what? You're going to be fine. You're going to crush it. You're going to get out there. You're going to rebound. And what more value can you provide in any industry than that? And the second thing that people look for is climax. They're there to bust a nut too. And there's different ways, again, psychologically, that you can build that up by basically people are searching for a higher and higher climax. And you could do that by delaying or delaying their permission to let them climax. There's a whole different range of different things that you can implement there. And it's called like the content hierarchy. So at each stage you can make more and more money as well. And if you're like, oh, that sounds bad. All business operates solely on the fact of providing the most value, okay, and making the most money. Otherwise, you're a charity. Simple. Next thing, and this is, here we go again. Like, oh, there's just so much. Like, conversion rate. You have the highest converting business in the world. Nowhere else converts on products like this. You have the highest converting business model in the world. You're not trying to sell sneakers. You're not trying to sell furniture. You're not trying to sell this. You're selling titty pics. You're selling pictures of your fingers in your fucking bumhole. You're selling pictures of your fingers in your vagoo and then you lick it. Okay? Dudes are paying. And not only are they paying, they're converting like insane. Okay? So you're in the easiest game to succeed in the world. And plus you need the least amount of skills to succeed in. The next thing, and the next two, I'll give one and then I'll give you my very favorite thing in the entire world. The first one, repeat business. Nearly all of your customers are repeat buyers and they're subscription buyers. So you're in a subscription business as well. Plus they're repeat buyers and repeat buyers of high ticket pricing. I just want to, if you don't know how good this is, I want to slap you right there. Like I want to hold you down and shake you. If you're not just 100% thrilled to be in this every moment, I need to shake you. Okay? And the last thing, I'll cut it off the last thing before pricing because I could just go on forever. But this is my favorite one of the lot, honestly. No customer service. And more so than no customer service, all of your customers are in love with you. Fuck me. If you could tell Jeff Bezos, look, you have to start again, trade all your money, you have to start from scratch, but every customer you acquire is actually like a raving fan. They're in love with you. They want to be as close to you and as connected with you as possible. He would trade his fucking trillions of dollars in a second to restart that. I guarantee you, he would trade it all to restart with that. You've got the biggest competitive advantage in the world, plus the most stress-free business. You have no fucking upset customers. You have no customer service. I just can't explain why this isn't amazing. Now, I'm very simply going to explain pricing because we can, like I said, I go into this heavily inside of the Hive Mind program, but you should be charging the most you can get, okay? Today, again, if you look on YouTube, I posted on Instagram as well. 2 more members inside the Hive. We had a new guy just join. He's got 3 girls that's already working with him, and one, he just started her account, and 2 are the girls that he knew, and he got them to go. He just made $2 grand in under 3 hours. Like, straight away. 2 grand. In under 3 hours. Another dude there, he just milked another $500 from this dude in one conversation. Within the space like 10 minutes. $200 tip, $200 tip, $100 tip. $500 like that. You need to charge a premium. Where 99% of girls are going wrong and managers, they're like charging $10 for a picture. Bro, you're not fucking Walmart, okay? I can't tell you enough times. There's no competitive advantage to being the cheapest on the market, to being the second cheapest on the market. The only reason you should be charging the lower prices is if your plan is to mass saturate an industry like Walmart does or like Amazon does to try and saturate the entire economy. And you can't because it's an unsaturatable product, which I've already described to you. I've described why it can't be saturated. You cannot saturate this fucking product. You know, when I write a book, which I've told myself, like I had to delete my other one that I was writing, the book that I will be writing, I've told myself I have to wait till I'm 30, okay? And that's even more years of experience in this game. I'm going to write a book to do with OnlyFans. I'm going to write a book to do with selling sexual services and the money that can be made. And it's going to be like probably the most valuable fucking thing ever. But I had to delete my other one I was writing because I was like, no, I can't. I got to be focused here. I can't be wasting time. I know it's so valuable, but you got to be single lane focused. Now, boys, please, okay, charge a fucking premium. Ladies, if you're selling your own content, please charge a premium. What happens as well is, if everyone is charging a premium, that becomes the natural demand as well. And like I said, even though your product is unsaturatable, if everyone's charging a premium, it just raises the prices. But more so than that, like what I've just said, it doesn't even really matter because people are going to buy it. And the best thing about your product is, if people say to you, fuck, I'm not paying $100 for a picture, and you say, no worries, boo, it's not for you. These are $100 titties. You're a $10 titty, man. It makes them want it even more. And in no industry in the world does that happen. No industry. Please charge a premium. I've wrecked my fucking voice. For you guys, I wrecked my voice in today's potty, and I've still got 3 videos to go. So I'm going to go for a walk now. Recoup. And I'll see you all in tomorrow's podcast for episode 154, I think. Fuck, we are cruising. See you all tomorrow. Join the hive mind. Bucka bucka.